Welcome back here for Game 2 this afternoon as we're going to get right into things. Kansas dropping the first game of the doubleheader. 8-1 was the final score in that one. We'll go back to it here in game number 2. It's Jackson Pollock leading things off again for Kansas as that's called for strike number 1. Dropped in the dirt, but whatever. 1-1 offering. Called in the corner for strike 2. And after efficient first start from Sam Owens, who struck out 10 across 5 innings of work in game 1, the Rockhurst pitching staff trying to go back to it. First ball put in play is sent out towards center field. Going to get down, and Pollock will slide into second with a leadoff. I don't know, we'll call that a double.
Kind of weird looking play. Looked like he got spun around the wrong way. Kind of like dancing out there in center field. I think you got to have that one. Tough play, but they need to cash in on their opportunities this game. 1 run last game. Not going to win you too many baseball games, so.
Yeah, that one just hung up there a little too long. So Shayton Wright will step in, notched the only RBI of the day in game number 1, and he'll look to continue things here in game 2.
That was the last time they scored. First inning of last game.
Yeah. And we've got Sam Owens, the pitcher from game 1 to our left, and he just said you're welcome for that run. Wright lays down a bunt. And it's in time, so he sacrifices, and Pollock moves up 90 feet.
It appears to be evident that Blue, he's looking forward to watching the Masters, watching the end of it. Bryson now with a 1-stroke lead, by the way.
Yeah, Rory is absolutely imploding right now. So Aiden Day steps in. First pitch he sees is pushed foul. And called for strike number 2.
Trying to jam him. Inside half the plate. Good spot to live if you're a pitcher. Tough to turn on.
0-2. Is lined off the glove of the first baseman. Pollock will trot on home. Day's going to dig around for second. Here comes the throw. Way in time. So Day drives in a run, but he's tossed out going for second. Second game in a row where Kansas has gotten on the board first.
I can't tell if that tipped off the first baseman's glove, but nice hit there, punched it.
Davis watches the first pitch.
Not a whole lot of hard contact last game for the Jayhawks, so that was nice to hear that ring off the bat.
And taken for ball 1. Just opened up my Twitter feed and had a Daniel Highshaw highlight, so I had to pause and watch that, always.
Got the draft coming up next week. Hopefully see where Devin Neal goes. As
we had a guy, one of my good buddies who writes for the Kansan with me, got a credential approved, so he's going to the NFL draft as that's called for strike 2.
He rung him up.
He rung him up on strike 2.
I mean, you got to have a good laugh at that one.
We'll try this one again. There's strike 3. Doesn't get to ring him up this time. Kansas scores 1. We head to the bottom of the first. 1-0 Jayhawks. Back here for the top of the second, Carson K on the hill for Kansas, and we're going to have Mason do the play-by-play. I'm going to enjoy a little snack here.
Half swing back to the pitcher. K flips it over for out number one, and there it is, folks. Pitchers are athletes, athletic play there. A couple Rockhurst guys in the booth, they will agree. A couple pitchers. So efficiency early on the mound here for the Jayhawks. K from the windup fires his first pitch on the outside corner for strike number one. So a big thing last game for the Jayhawks, having a tough time getting outs, but in general, first pitch strikes were not huge. So there's a ground ball hard on the. Tripped over my words there, apologize, but a ground ball base hit up the middle. Kind of a line drive. It's kind of a little worm burner.
Yeah, I'd say so.
In golf terms.
You know, I was told you in the last game that if you got some play-by-play time, you might try and rip a Masters impression.
I think I got to get myself a fresh inning so we can get a fresh start.
Fair enough. A little hello friends action.
Fires that one in for strike one. Trying to look at my lineup card, see what happened with this guy last game. So the 0-1 from K is on that outside corner, but maybe a little bit too far outside, so that'll even the count 1-1.
You could say it was just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside.
Tried for the corner. Couldn't get it.
So a single on his stat line last game. Foul tip in the catcher's glove. Runner goes. The throw is spiked, and so he's going to have a stolen base. And here in the bottom of the first inning, Rockhurst with a man in scoring position looking to tie the game up.
Well, it's fouled off, so they're going to...
No, batter interference in the throw.
Oh, they called it batter interference on the throw. Interesting. So 2-0 now.
Shout out to my spotters there. Didn't see that one. So with 2 outs now, they'll try and get out of this one unscathed and preserve the lead with a man on first base. K from the stretch, slide step, gets through the 5-hole of Fultz, and man on first is going to take off and get himself now into scoring position.
So Quinn Gollitz moving behind home here for game number 2 of this doubleheader. And again, we'll play 7 here as we're about 2 hours into this afternoon. First game started at noon.
That one, the fastball just a little bit high. We're going to go have a chat.
Thinking about stopping by Joe's Barbecue on the way home. What do you think about that?
I would have to say Joe's Barbecue is my favorite barbecue, but it's a little bit more on the pricey side. But you got to try it at least once, especially if you're not from around here like yourself.
Good to know. It was either that or Gates. I went to the dugout and said, I'm going to go to Gates. And they said, don't go to Gates, go to Joe's. So I said, all right, Joe's it is.
So the 2-0 is in the dirt and outside, so it's 3-0 to the big right-hander.
Only putting off doing my homework as much as I can.
Some days are rest day. Homework can wait. So the 3-0 is on that outside corner again, strike one. The hitter thought that was ball 4. Started to throw his bat, didn't fully release.
Looked a bit outside, must have just caught the corner. I'm sure Kay will take that happily.
Always take what you can get. Never ask questions as a pitcher. This one's skied up behind the shortstop. He calls him off and makes the play. So that'll end the inning. No runs for Rockhurst. To the top of the second we go. 1-0 Kansas.
1.
So we're back at Rockhurst University in a tradition unlike any other. Hello, friends. I am Mason Kuntz alongside my partner, Trevor Butler. We are ready to go in the second inning of this doubleheader. As the first pitch is on the outside corner for strike 1.
Just a wonderful pitch placement there, Mason. Really commanding the zone.
So the 0-1 offering. And he slices it foul.
Sent that one back toward the second cut.
Patrons over on that third base line are going to have to get up and move their chairs for this next shot. Looks like he's going to hit his 3-wood. So that one is just a bit outside. And it's ball 1 on this gorgeous day in Kansas City, Missouri. And from the windup, Archer Nolan gets a breaking ball, and that one is fouled back again on that third base line.
So a couple of excellent drives thus far. He's just searching to put something on the fairway.
This beautiful day we have and this beautiful outfield course. Nolan's 1-2, spiked it in there, and that'll leave him the count 2-2. So this is our final group of the day. Looking to take home that green jacket, per se. So once again, fouled back on the third base line. Out of play.
This is, oh dear. My apologies, I dropped my microphone.
So Nolan from the windup. The 2-2 is way outside, and that'll fill the score sheet here. It is full count to the leadoff man in the second inning. Nolan's payoff pitch is down low, and that is ball 4. So a leadoff walk is how the Jayhawks start this second inning.
And we just had a very large bug fly into the press box.
So Nolan will go from the stretch with the man on first. His first offering is a breaking ball that doesn't break too much, and it's about eye level for ball 1. Runner on first with a small lead, doesn't want to get picked off. This one's lined into left field, down the line, and it's a fair ball. They're running around, and they're going to hold him at third. I'm sorry, I got lost. So it's a double, and now with men on second and third, the Jayhawks making a little bit of noise. As his drive there found the fairway.
Just an excellent drive there, Mason.
And he's set up nicely with his approach shot. Maybe the Jayhawks looking for an eagle.
My mic continues to fall off.
Update the scoreboard. It's fouled straight back, just slightly under it. But he is on time with it. And this is Jacob Bittner playing left field for the Jayhawks today. Last game, he was 1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. That one's cut on and missed for strike 2. Important here early for the Jayhawks to stay on it. Push across a couple more runs. We'll see if Nolan goes for a chase pitch here, as it is down and in for ball 1. The 1-2 is a slider, got him swinging on the outside half of the plate. Nice pitch there, as Bittner is retired for out number 1.
Yeah, just great pitch placement right there. Not a lot you can do if you're Bittner.
So he'll leave it to Levi's feet. The lefty.
Rocking that 2-7.
He swings and misses on a low one at strike one. And as we mentioned in the last game, 2-7 is an important number for Trevor. That's Trevor's number. Feet never got a white jersey, so he had to borrow one today. Looking to make Trevor happy. As that one skips in low for ball one. As you hear somebody in the stands, one of the patrons said, "Find the green here." So we're set to do battle again. The 1-1 is a breaking ball up. Levi looking to be selective here. Don't want to help a pitcher out too much. See if he gets something he can manage and drive it into the fairway. As this one is high in the air, deep to center field. It's back, and it lands on the track. Speed is chugging around second, and he's going to stop there. But it's a 2 RBI double and a 3-0 lead for the Jayhawks as he waves the wheat on second base.
Levi's feet, how about it? Just drove it to the base of the wall. I thought he could have had a chance with an extra gust of wind or so. But he just got under one.
Looking like a DeChambeau-type drive. That one went about 300 yards, perfectly piped into the fairway on this drivable par 4. So after the double, Nolan fires a breaking ball for strike one. Nolan's 0-1 offering is down and in, evens the count at 1 aside. Really is just perfect weather. You got about 75 degrees. You hear the birds chirping. Sun is out.
Clouds have mostly burned off. Knew it was going to be a nice day. Checked the weather. It said it was going to be about 86, and I was like, all right, sweet.
Jam shot over the right side of the field, and it's caught by the first baseman, so there's 2 down. Fastball ran in on his hands, and he just kind of fought it off to the right side. Maybe looked like he chunked his wedge there. So with 2 down, there's a fastball, and it's once again outside. And that's going to be ball 1. Back to the leadoff spot, it's Pollock. He hit a double his last time around.
DeChambeau just bogeyed. He's down to 9 under.
There's another one on that outside corner. This time it is in there for strike 1. To Jackson Pollock. He's leading the team in average in hits in the leadoff spot. So the 1-1 is cut on and missed for strike 2. Might have been a little bit low.
You got it, kid. Stay aggressive. Don't leave it up to him.
Pollock is looking to keep the line moving here. Keep on adding to that scorecard. He drives this one just a little bit behind it, foul and out of play. Solid contact, needs to just straighten it out.
And you may have seen on your screen the bug that just flew in.
Big wasp. Not a big fan. They're kind of scary looking.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. Not a big wasp guy myself.
Breaking ball in there for called strike 3, and Nolan gets out of it. 2 more for the Jayhawks. 3-0. They lead going to the bottom of the second. Back here in the second inning, or on hole number 2, the Jayhawks with a 3-shot lead and a ground ball, which is chopped foul on the third base side, and I will turn it back over to my partner, Trevor Butler.
Yeah, so we are back, and I must say I don't think I can do a golf impression as well as the man sitting to my right can. But here in the bottom of the second, first pitch fouled back, as that's going to bounce way in front of Gawitz.
A little bit of cricket action.
Yeah, he was trying to knock over a wicket or two there, as that's down low for ball 2. Two and one count here from K. Runs a little high, and it's 3-1.
Be interesting to see, especially from the pitching standpoint. After a long inning, you're sitting there, your arm's getting tight, so you got to bring it back.
And I'll take a walk. So K issuing a leadoff walk, and that's how we get things going.
No harm, no foul. Leadoff walks, never good, but after that longer inning, that is expected. So see if he won't settle back in. I think he will.
Called for strike 1. And it looks like Andrew Swearingen has just gotten here, so that is not Gawitz behind the plate anymore. That is Swear behind the dish for Kansas now. Spiked in the dirt for ball 1.
So you'll have to fill me in there. Is that in club baseball? Is that allowed, or is Gawitz done for the day now?
I believe Gawitz is done for the day. I'm not seeing him out there anywhere. They might have shifted positions and moved him back to the outfield where he was for game 1, but I'm not seeing anything. Bunt is pulled back in time, and the runner will walk on down to second. That's Woodcock. Swearingen will take the walk out to the mound.
Maybe just a little quick, hey man, sorry. Got to have that one next time, but I was gonna say I don't want to have too long of a conversation there. He's trying to get back into a rhythm, and when you slow that down, it makes it really tough.
So the 2-1 incoming from K. Squares around a bunt, pulls back, and it's 3-1. Scoreless first inning, but so far here in the second, K struggling with the command a little bit. That's called for strike 2.
Nice pitch there, work back. Nothing fancy, but he was able to hum that fastball right in there and maybe slowly build those momentum back.
Sent out toward right field, but it's foul. Called it foul right at the last second. Looked pretty good, but it just drops harmlessly in foul territory, and we'll try this again.
Tough to see out there. That line's pretty faint. It's probably been a few days since it's been painted, but I do believe it was foul by a fair margin. Back out to the mound again. I'm not sure why.
Full count pitch popped up in foul territory, called off and caught. And there's one down here in the second. Nick Griffin tracked it into foul territory and made the grab.
Tough play there, staring up into that sun. I couldn't get a good read on the ball. It looked like it was tailing back towards the field of play. I thought at first it was going to land in that Rockhurst dugout, but nonetheless, they getting out.
So one down here for K. And that's going to stay a little high for ball one to open things up against Niemeyer. And again, it'll stay high, so K falling behind 2-0.
When you're missing high like he is right now, it's always a good focal point. Think about reaching out, trying to touch the catcher's glove. Try and hand it to him. And usually that'll fix your release point and bring it down into the strike zone.
Gets one back there, it's 2-1. Niemeyer looking for the sign. He comes set. Kicks and fires. Runner goes to third. Swearingen, a great throw. Not in time. A little high, and Woodcock swipes third.
Yeah, you said it best. It was a really nice throw on the line. Just kind of hard for your third baseman there to put the tag down after he has to reach up to get it.
So a 3-1 hitter's count here to Niemeyer. Is taken up high for ball 4. And there's runners on the corners here with one away.
Get down, get up.
Michael Chase will step in here with an opportunity to pull a run or two back.
See if they don't try and move, maybe put this runner in motion.
They sure will. And the batters seem to be a little in the way. Swearingen holds off on the throw.
A little miscommunication there. I thought they were going to maybe try and hit and run.
I guess you'd rather have both runners sitting in scoring position here. Little high, ball 2. This umpire not as gracious with the top of the zone as the one from game number 1 was.
Still pretty gracious with that outside half, I'd say. They
That's
both
for
of
sure.
them, they love the outside corner, I guess, if you will, or the wrong batter's box too.
Swearingen flips, but the throw's not in time. Kay couldn't hang on to it. It was a good flip from the catcher Swearingen, just a little late, and it got knocked out of the glove of Carson Kay. So a run comes around to score, and here in the bottom of the second, Rockhurst able to get on the board.
I don't think he needed to flip it. I think if he would have just went and tagged him normally, he'd had him by at least 2 steps.
Yeah, close play. Runner moves up to third. So a 3-0 count here. Taken for strike 1 as it bounces away from Swearingen.
Swearingen's having a tough time with that glove back there. It's just popping out. Can't get one to stick.
Three and one inside, and it's another walk. You know, I don't know if you've seen this at all. Have you seen any of the girl on Snapchat trying to get people to buy banana bread on the Kansas stories?
You know, I turned off the KU stories because it gets. I mean, there's probably 25 different posts on it every day, and it's just a lot to keep up with. So I turned it off.
Runner goes. Swearingen will opt not to throw down. But no, I've been seeing these posts. This girl is advertising her banana bread she's selling. It looks pretty good. And I've heard from some people who have splurged and bought the banana bread that it is pretty good, but
What's the price tag?
there's no listed price, and that's what freaks me out a little bit because I don't want to go into it and have someone tell me it's $8 for a couple slices of banana bread, as that'll run inside and catch him. Yeah, I don't really have that kind of money for banana bread, as Shayton Wright will take the walk out to the mound and have a chat with Carson Kay. Bases loaded, 1 out here. And we will see what Kansas opts to do. I don't see any motion in the Jayhawk dugout.
I think they're going to go. No, I'm not sure now. I can't tell. I think they're going to go with maybe one of their infielders. No, they're going to leave him.
You might as well.
See, and this is where it's different in club baseball. We've seen it, and you kind of helped me out too. But they're gonna. If you're pitching, your job is you're gonna be there and eat some innings up.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of pitching, and really struggling here. And like I've said, like you said, the big innings.
Up high, a great pullback right there from Swearingen. Could have been disaster.
Finish up on my last thought, and you just really would hate to see this turn into one of another dreaded big innings that Jayhawks can't avoid.
Can't avoid them, but they also can't afford them. Line back up the middle. That's going to score at least 1. Green light on. No throw to the plate. 2 runs score, and on the single up the middle, we are tied. A big-time hack, evening this one at 3 apiece, and there's still only 1 out.
And he did what he wanted to do. He got his ground ball, but with the infield all being in, it was going to be really hard to reach that ball. I think if they were in normal depth, they could have easily turned a double play. So that one hurts a little bit when you do everything right. Just luck wasn't on his side there.
First pitch here runs a little outside. So runners on first and second, only 1 down here in the bottom of the second, and it's already been a 3-run inning for the Rockhurst Hawks. They've brought themselves even after Kansas jumped out to the early lead. Outside 2-0.
He's really struggling, missing up a lot, and I said it earlier about trying to reach out and touch the catcher's glove, but I think when you're out here for a long time like that, your energy, it's certainly not near as easy as it sounds. He's really got to try and focus to bring it down just a little bit.
2-0 pitch. Again, a little bit high, and it's 3-0.
Just walk 2 guys around. Only threw 1 or 2 yesterday.
Zat runs inside for ball 4. He'll take a walk, and the bases are loaded once again.
I mentioned from a pitcher standpoint, I'll try and pivot over now to as it looks like he is going to get pulled now, but I'll finish it. It's not only is it tough when you're pitching, you can't find the zone, it takes a toll on your fielders too when they're standing around and nothing's really happening, no balls are getting put in play. And it really just takes a toll on your whole team. So it's number 32 for you, Trev. You have the lineup card there.
I will tell you who that is. You pull it up. So new arm in for Kansas, and we'll go to a break while he gets warmed up. 3-3, bottom of the second. Back here in Kansas City, and it's Sean Buden into the game for the Jayhawks. 1 1/3 from Carson Kay, and he exits with the bases loaded. First pitch is going to run behind him. No throw, and just like that, another run scores. So Rockhurst has come all the way back and taken the lead. It's 4-3 now.
Yep, there it is again. Pitching woes continue. They're all having a really tough time finding that zone. So the infield is in too.
Drops in for ball 2. And Swearingen will take a couple steps out and fire back to his pitcher.
So with the infield in, that tells me anything on the ground is coming home. Try and cut that runner down. Don't let the lead increase.
Runners on 2nd and 3rd for the Hawks here.
Need to stop the momentum.
This one poked out toward right field. Pretty shallow. It'll be caught. Runner's going to think about coming home, but he holds off. Now it skips by, but good backup from Buden there. And there's 2 down. 2 runners down here in the second. Runner still on 2nd and 3rd. Rockhurst looking to extend their advantage even more.
Yeah, hey, like you said, really nice job being there by Buden to back up that throw. That would have surely scored another one. Everybody's always got their place to be, find their spot.
First pitch here runs outside. This one driven over to the left side, up firing. Throw is in time. A great play across the diamond, but Rockhurst adds 4 and takes the lead here in the second. We head to the third. 4-3 Hawks advantage. Back here for the top of the third, Kansas now having to play from behind.
Need to fight their way back into it and scratch a couple cross.
So Andrew Swearingen will lead us off as he takes that one down low for ball 1.
Pat single left. Yeah.
A rough second inning for the Jayhawks, allowing 4 on only 2 hits. Inside on Swearingen, it's 2-0. So definitely a much tighter zone, even though that one's called for strike 1. It looks like we've got a new pitcher in here for Rockhurst.
Lefty-lefty matchup. Don't see that a whole lot anymore.
2-1 swung through for strike 2. Swearingen trying to even this one with 1 cut.
First AB on the day, see if he won't make a little bit of noise.
In the dirt, count goes full.
He's doing a nice job seeing some pitches.
He's trying to claw his way back into this at bat now. Full count offering here to Swearingen. Up high, ball 4. Andrew Swearingen starting things off with a leadoff walk. And that'll bring Aiden Day to the plate.
Much like the last inning, walks plaguing both teams now. But that's what the Jayhawks are looking for. You got your leadoff man on. And you got to get him over.
Yeah, you just got to find a way to keep working counts. Runs way inside for ball 1. Day swings at the 1-0. Popped up shallow right field. Call off, and there's one away. So now Kyle Davis will have a chance to inflict some damage. He tosses the bat back over towards the dugout.
Looked like his back foot kind of slipped out under him when he was swinging there. That's why it went to right field, but lost a lot of power in doing so. Otherwise, that might have went over his head.
Davis stepping in. The first pitch to him is called for strike 1 in the corner. The 0-1 offering stays a little high, and the count is even 1-1.
Short lead over there on first base by Swearingen tells me that they're probably not planning anything here, but I would like to see maybe a hit and run or just try and outright steal second base.
Because that's in the dirt for ball 2.
Need to do anything they can to get runners in scoring position.
Left low, and it's 3-1. A hitter's count to Davis.
Probably an auto take situation.
I would think so. Swings and pops it up on the infield. And it's caught, so no auto take, and there's 2 down. So Ben McDonald will not have a chance to try and keep something going.
So that makes me think too. I'm the biggest advocate for pitchers doing everything, but there's one thing I will say pitchers don't do is catch pop-ups. So nice job by the third baseman and call him off. Never let your pitcher catch a pop-up.
Runs inside, nearly buzzed the tower on McDonald.
Apparently that sheet with everybody's money is still in the dugout. That sheet with everybody's scholarship money, it's still down in the dugout.
in the dirt ball too. So McDonald quickly ahead in the count 2-0. Popped up and foul.
Remember last weekend, every time anything goes up in the air, especially backwards, you're holding your breath, listening for the inevitable sound of a car getting hit. That's the thing about the location of this field here is you don't got to worry about that.
So McDonald's still trying to work the count and get somebody aboard. It's 3-1 now. Hitters count to him. Swings in the 3-1, sends it out towards center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Wheels on from Swearingen. Throw goes to second. It goes over his head, and it's backed up over at first, but it's going to be runners on second and third for Quinn Gowitz now. And McDonald waves the wheat and then hits the Cam Ward celebration out at second.
So a perfect time to mention beautiful, maybe 60-degree wedge there, but perfect flop shot onto the green there in the outfield, and now you got 2 men in scoring position, but it'd be huge to get at least one.
So 2 outs here in the third for Gowitz, and they're going to take a look at the signs again. So Gowitz will step in, looking to push a run around from third. First pitch he sees is left outside. One-zero is pushed over down the right side, but foul.
And as you look out to the outfield at that scoreboard, if it says anything at all about the type of day it's been so far, KU has a 5-2 advantage in the hits column, and they're down by a run. Never a pretty sight.
It's just one of those days. Swung through strike 2. Wonder if this is how it feels to broadcast for like the White Sox.
I don't know. I think that'd certainly be interesting.
The 1-2 here. Outside, he does not chase.
But I think even with the White Sox, and maybe I'm wrong, but you're never like these guys broadcasting. They're still just doing their job. So whether the team's good or bad doesn't really affect what they do.
Swung at the ball in the dirt. Throw down to first. And Rockhurst escapes. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 4-3 Hawks.
as always.
Back here for the bottom of the third, where Rockhurst will now have an opportunity to extend their lead. Sean Buden back in for a second inning of work. First pitch he offers is called in the outside part of the plate for strike one.
I know you're an Astros guy, but I feel like you've seen enough of the Rangers. Maybe you know a little bit about Hobie Milner.
I'd say I know a little.
This pitching out here has kind of reminded me of him. Just the arm angle, and I know Milner's obviously left-handed, but
No, I could see that. I actually just got a notification as that just runs inside. Notification about the Rangers-Mariners game that's about to start.
can't say I've ever faced Milner in real life, but whenever I face him in MLB The Show, he always gives me a lot of trouble. It's miserable trying to pick up the ball when his arm is pretty much scraping the ground.
That's how I feel whenever I have to play against guys that throw knuckleballs. Runs inside, ball forward, it's a leadoff walk.
Good friend of mine, whenever we match up head-to-head in MLB The Show, I always try and find the pitcher that has the weirdest looking motion or the side armors, because
Runner goes, hit and run situation is not fielded cleanly. Everybody moves up 90 feet safely. Quinn Gawitz was there but could not make the play. So 2 men aboard here for Rockhurst. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third.
Single. Let's go. Edward.
can't have those miscues like that.
Bunt laid, but it goes foul.
Pitcher's out there working hard, trying to make a quick one and get an easy ground ball too. You gotta get at least one out of that.
Let's go, Hutton German. Half effort.
Stepping back in the 0-1. Squares around to bunt again, and yet again it goes foul. So Buden looking for a put away here. Adam Niemeyer trying to fight to stay alive.
I'm looking for a breaking ball here. He's got the perfect arm slot to drop a nasty slider in there.
Runs inside, and Niemeyer gets one back. So I just saw some birds land in the outfield. They're all kind of hanging out there.
Everybody is in on the action here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon.
Perfect ticket right there. On-field experience. 1-2 goes outside, and it's 2-2. Runner swipes third with ease. So looks like Cal Rampton's sitting 90 feet away now. Now, my apologies, that's Tyler Woodcock. Two-two is looped out toward left field. It'll get down, and a run will score pretty easily. Woodcock trots home. It's an RBI single for Adam Niemeyer, and after falling behind 0-2, he comes all the way back to drive in a run. It's 5-3 Rockhurst. And the batter almost slipped.
Seen that a couple times now.
Must be a weird divot down there or something. So Michael Chase will step in now. Squares around to bunt. Nobody covering first, and everybody's going to be safe. Absolutely nobody covering first. Chase able to jog down the line after McDonald had to come over and cover.
That's second baseman's responsibility, and they caught their own guy napping. But I think if he would have thrown it to third, they'd have had the force out. But once again, the mental errors, the miscues, the things you can control that they aren't controlling, and it's showing again.
Gonna sink you every time, and it's showing with Kansas right now as the first pitch runs inside. And it's been unexpected. This Kansas team came into the season, as that's taken low for ball two. They came into the season ranked in the NCBA top 20. They were fresh off of a trip to Wood Wars in Sterlington, Louisiana that had people very high on them. People thought that this Kansas team could really contend. They were actually third in the country in the fall rankings, but entering the year ranked 16th, they just haven't had anything go their way. All but eliminated from postseason contention here, too.
It would take a miracle.
Because that's going to run in and hit him. Another run will come walk home. And it's 6-3 Rockhurst. And Cam Foltz is going to come out and have a chat with Sean Booten.
Well, we got the time. After a hit batter, I'll tell a little story. My freshman year on the JV club in high school, one of my best friends at the time, he was the starter. He was the pitcher for that game, and we were in Eudora, and it was probably 25 degrees. It was the coldest I've ever been, and I was behind the plate for that one back in my high school catching days, and pitcher hits the first three guys in order on the first three pitches, and it was cold, and you just hear it. It was hurting, and you just had to give him a laugh.
First pitch runs outside, ball one.
But you gotta, I went out, called time, and just gotta slow him down. Like cracked a couple jokes, like, "Hey man, you're fine," and he was able to get himself back into it and had a pretty nice outing.
As there's one that finds the zone for strike one.
It's always fun, though. To this day, we still give him trouble for it.
That's awesome. 1-1 pitch is grounded down the left field line, sneaks under Griffin's glove. One run will score. Up and firing, throw home. Not in time. 2-run score on the RBI single, and Rockhurst is pouring it on. It's 8-3.
You mentioned the White Sox earlier. I just saw a notification come through on my phone. Garrett Crochet, for the former Southsider, he's got a no-hitter through 7 innings against his former club in Chicago.
I actually saw something about that on Twitter between innings. Went to take a look there in the bottom of the 8th there. The White Sox have broken that up. I hate to spoil your fun, but it is 2-1 in that
Honesty is key. I'd rather you tell me that there's nothing to be excited for than find out on my own that it got broken up. Nonetheless, no-hitter through 7 is...
Especially against your former club, not too shabby, as that's taken for strike one.
no small feat.
Called strike two. O2 pitch here from Booten. Still nobody out in the inning. Skips in the dirt for ball one.
Don't eat on fastball.
Both runners go. Pitches up high. Throw goes to third, but it's not in time. A double steal.
Very close.
Indeed it was.
It's in there by a fraction of a second.
So the 2-2 pitch from Booten. Swung through, strike three, and there's one down here in the third. Sigh of relief for Sean Booten right there, finally notching the first out of the inning.
I've spent a lot of my time talking on the pitching standpoint. Trev, you were a catcher. What's going through your mind right now? And you're having these long innings and really having to work.
I mean, I think a lot of it is frustration, as that's called for strike one. Because you're back there, you're calling pitches, you're trying to help sequence your pitcher, and things just aren't finding the zone. And Buden's a guy that has had great outings before, and if you're Swearingen, you know that, he can execute. He's just struggling, as that's called for strike two. It seems like now he might be finding his groove. But no, definitely just a lot of frustration, and that can build. And then if something happens, you have a ball skip by you, that just continues to build up that frustration. It's all a mental game. 0-2. Checks his swing as it runs outside.
That's so much of the game that maybe goes unnoticed, but a lot of it is mental. People don't think about it, but it's always people on the outside think of it as checkers and playing chess.
Skips behind him. Swearingen will get up and fire home, but it dribbles out to the pitcher's mound and another run will score.
Yep, and he tried to put the tag on him before he had the ball. I think he would have had him, but you kind of saw him sweep that glove down before he fully had the ball in it. And
I think he definitely would have had him. He had him beat by a couple steps. But instead, everybody moves up 90 feet again, and it's a 5-run third inning. And I do believe the mercy rule is in effect, which means if it's a 10-run game after 5 innings, then I believe we'd be done and dusted here. Swung on over to the left side, skips over Griffin's glove. Another base hit, another RBI makes it 10-3. Kansas just now being eclipsed in hits. That was the 6th hit of the day for Rockhurst to 5 for Kansas.
And I'm always trying to learn and strengthen my knowledge, but I do think I could confidently say that if you have 10 runs and 6 hits, something doesn't quite math correctly there.
I'd agree with that. Runner swipes second on the pitch behind. So Buden falling behind 1-0 here in the count. That sidearm delivery can be very lethal, but when it's not working like today, it leaves you at risk for a lot of trouble because you're going to have a lot of pitches that stay inside, as that's a hearty hack right there from Rampton.
I can't really speak to that. I don't know how it works really sidearm like that, but I would have to assume it's. Well, I know for sure that your release point's different, but coming sidearm, your release point's more across your body and like in front of you. But if you can master it, like you said, it's filthy.
And we've seen some guys in the big leagues, like you said with Hobie Milner, but even guys like the Rogers brothers that both have the sidearm delivery. If you can get it down, it's absolutely lethal. Just struggling for Buden today as that's taking the ball too.
I believe Tyler, when he was on the Giants, he was making a lot of noise for a while there because his release point was so low that the ball looked like it was rising.
Little excuse me swing, but it goes foul.
And obviously in softball, the rise ball is big. It is a very common big thing, but in baseball, when you're overhand delivery, it's essentially impossible.
I actually covered softball the other day for the Daily Kansan. They lost 2-0 to Arizona. There's a hearty hack, but it'll go foul. Rampton had the homer in game 1. He's looking to drive in another run here, and if that had stayed fair, it almost certainly would have been an RBI. Still only 1 out here in the inning.
Oh
2-2 again. Swung through, strike 3, and there's 2 down. Buden trying to work his way out of this inning.
There was a very nice pitch there that's kind of mentioned that breaking ball from a sidearm. If you can get it down, it's almost unhittable.
As there's one that's going to clip Woodcock, and he'll trot on down to first, 2 aboard here. And now it looks like Cam Foltz is going to take a walk out to the mound. Likely getting a new pitcher in here. Very well could be Shayton Wright, who's walking out there with his glove. It sure will be. Shayton Wright taking to the hill. And we'll be back with you guys in just a moment. Welcome back to Rockhurst, where Shayton Wright is in to pitch for Kansas in a 10-3 ball game, as that's left down low for ball 1. Kansas jumped out to the early 3-0 lead, but has since surrendered 10 consecutive runs in what has become a rough outing here on a Sunday afternoon as it's swung through for strike 1. Jayhawks looking to finally escape another nightmare inning. And we've talked a lot over the last series and a half about the big inning and how it plagues the Jayhawks. Here's one looped over toward third. He'll step on the bag. And the inning is finally over. Rockhurst plates 6 in the third. We head to the top of the fourth. 10-3 Hawks your score. So back to it here for the fourth. Kansas looking to bounce back and get something going after the 6-run bottom of the third. Jacob Bittner will lead us off. First pitch he sees is popped up on the infield. Shortstop calls everyone off. One pitch and there's one away. So Levi Sweet will come up now after the quick out to start things off.
I don't know if I can believe my eyes, but maybe a subtle flash of efficiency. One pitch, one out.
Yeah, first efficient at-bat we might have had all day from either team. So that's left in the dirt for ball one, and we're back to what we expected.
I suppose not very efficient for the guys trying to climb back into this one, but
No, certainly not. So Sweet ahead 2-0 here, trying to negotiate himself aboard. He'll swing at the 2-0. He'll pop it up on the infield where it's caught, and there's 2 down. Nice play from Joe Guastello there. Came rolling in from first and used 2 hands for safety.
covered a lot of ground there. Probably 100 feet.
Something like that. I mean, it was maybe 6-7 yards.
6-7 yards.
Down in the dirt for ball one.
Look, that's the first 6-7 mention of the day. We kind of forgot about that one. Last time at Creighton, we got, let's say 10 of them.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Maybe 6, 7.
6-7.
6-7 mentions.
Griffin drills one out towards center field. Into no man's land. It'll drop in for a base hit single. So Nick Griffin with 2 down here in the fourth, getting something going for the Jayhawks. So Jackson Pollock, the top of the order, stepping back in for Kansas. Looking to continue this 2-out rally. First pitch he sees, skips in the dirt. Griffin takes off. No throw, and he'll be in standing up. So Pollock going ahead, 1-0 in the count. One and 0 is grounded over toward first, steps on the bag. And it's another 0 on the scoreboard for the Jayhawks. We head to the bottom of the fourth, still 10-3. Bottom of the fourth on tap. First pitch from right is outside for ball one. And we just got a quote from Game 1 winning pitcher Sam Owens, who said on his 3 years here at JV, as that one's chopped over toward third, fired along to first, and there's one away. Said on his 3 years here playing JV for Rockhurst University, the win earlier today was the first one he's ever seen. I will not comment any further on what that might mean.
I think it's better that we don't draw too much attention to that and move on to the next topic. Nice job there. Get the leadoff man.
Yeah, Wright.
Mr. Wright.
Wright, not a guy that you see pitch very often for Kansas. So to come in and retire back-to-back hitters, not too shabby from the righty, as he induces a swing and miss right there. I don't know if this is akin to a position player pitching for Kansas or what, but Shayton Wright's going to get out there and do a job, because that's left inside ball one.
I would say so. I mean, started second base last game.
This is probably let's say the 7th or the 8th game I've called of Kansas baseball. Have never seen him pitch before today.
Never in my life have I seen the head coach of the baseball team also on the mound. So
Hey, you know what they say?
that is
club
club
baseball.
baseball for you.
We are back up to 11 viewers, so everybody is back sticking it out. I hope you guys at home are at least watching the Masters on something else, because this is quite a choice. We appreciate you all for sticking around. Count goes full, 3-2.
You throwing shade at the fans there?
No, I actually love and appreciate the fans. We've had some fun chats, especially in the fall season, as the throw is in time to nab it first. We had a couple of really fun chats out in the fall season. Had a bunch of people active, just making comments. That's when I was still by myself, so they were getting me to throw references in here and all that sort of thing. It was a good time.
Need to have some kind of conversation.
Oh yeah, of course.
I think I did a big mistake by calling them fans. Obviously,
Patrons.
still are in the Masters theme, so
Yeah.
they're patrons.
Yeah. Kansas club baseball and dropping games in the spring season, a tradition unlike any other. Even though we've been really good in the past. A rebuilding year this year, you might say. As that's flown out toward right field, but it'll go foul.
See, maybe they need to have them have the main team loan Brady Ballinger down.
He didn't play today, so I'm sure they would appreciate if he made a guest appearance here in Kansas City. So that skips in the dirt for ball two.
Maybe Jackson Hoagie.
Wouldn't mind that. As that is cracked back up the middle, no doubt about it, as that's, as you put it earlier, a worm burner right there back up through the gap.
By the way, Hoagie, absolute monster home run he hit against the Huskers last week. Dead over the batter's eye in center field. Tough to do.
Yeah, he crushed that one. Just got a phone call from one of my buddies at home. Had to shoot him a text and say, I'm calling a game right now. As that's left for ball one. Right pickoff move to first, not in time. That's going to roll all the way to the backstop. He'll trot on down to second, so with 2 balls in the count, runner moves up 90 feet.
Had a thought just slip into my head, and I can't let it go now about Jackson Hoagie and his home run. But you know, at Hoagland Park, absolutely just he cranked that thing over the batter's eye. I mean, it's what, 40-foot high wall and a 400-foot fence in center field.
Something like that. No, he did crush that one. 3-0. Outside ball 4, and there's 2 aboard with 2 down. So this is where Kansas needs to try and kind of work things out. They've really struggled in these 2-out situations, struggled in allowing a lot of free passes. So we'll see if the Jayhawks can work their way out of this inning.
Just need one. Don't try and do anything too special. Get you a ground ball. Get your bats back out.
In the dirt, ball 1. So right kicks and fires. The 1-1 is down low, ball 2. In all seriousness, though, I know we were ripping some jokes about the chat and everything, but we do both appreciate everybody. I mean, we both love doing this. We both want to do this for a career. So for people to stick around and listen to a couple college freshmen ramble about whatever, that's swung through for strike 2. To stick around and listen to a couple freshmen just ramble about anything that comes to their minds, we do appreciate you guys bearing with us. It's a lot of fun.
Always is nice too, and the people that you know that watching their, sending you texts on tips. I know my dad does it. My mom, my roommates, they've said some things that I do take that to heart. So, always looking for ways to improve.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
Find yourself a way to become enjoyable to watch.
Full count offering, chipped foul. Double steal moved both runners up 90 feet.
So that is part of it too. You're gonna have games like this one where, we're kind of dragging out, not much is happening, and you gotta find a way to fill that time.
Yeah. As full count offering is taken for ball 4 and the bases are loaded.
You guys boys take the easy one.
So with the bases loaded here, Rockhurst with an opportunity to continue adding on. Comebacker to right. He makes the grab. The natural second baseman showing off the athletic glove. And we head to the 5th. Rockhurst strands him loaded.
All right, so we're back here in the 5th inning. Mason Kuntz with you. Trevor had to make an important phone call, and sometimes things like that come up that you can't get out of. Nonetheless, it's Cade Luchtenmeyer on the mound for Rockhurst. Thanks to the guys up here for helping me with the pronunciation for that. His first pitch is ball number 1. That one's inside. So it's a quick 2-0 count. I believe that is Andrew Swearingen. That last pitch just missed, barely up, but he's got a 3-0 count. The 3-0 is in there for strike one. Trevor is back. I'll give it back to him maybe after this inning if I feel generous enough. Swearingen takes a strike on the outside half of the plate, and that fills the count at 3-2. So the payoff pitch from Luchtenmeyer is in the windup. It is a fastball fouled back. Swearingen got here late today, started for the second game, was not here for the first, was catching. So the payoff pitch again is once again fouled off. Kind of just stuck his bat out there and was able to fight it. So we try the payoff pitch again for the third time, and that one's down low for ball 4. So a leadoff walk for Swearingen. And Kansas has a man on in the 5th inning. Luchtenmeyer's first offering is tipped back. It's a different lineup this second game, so I'll have Trevor help me with my name here. It is Aiden Day. Thank you, sir. They did not give us a card for this game, so we're kind of left to fight for ourselves here. So as Day chops one over to first, it's going to fall. He's going to step on the bag, fires a second. They tag him out. And so it is a 3-6 double play. And just as quick as the Jayhawks get the man on, there are now 2 outs.
Yeah, it looked like Kansas was going to be able to start mounting some sort of rally, but unfortunately it wasn't to be here.
Breaking ball on the outside half of the plate. Passed on and missed by Kyle Davis.
Yeah, I got a text message from a buddy of mine saying, hey, I need to talk to you. This is really important. Call me when you can. So I stepped out for a second thinking, oh, this must be urgent. And he goes, do you have 10 minutes? And I'm like, I do not have 10 minutes. I am broadcasting a baseball game. And he's like, then why are you calling me? I'm like, well, for one, you told me you needed to talk to me as soon as possible. And that freaks me out a little bit. And for two, I just had my co-broadcaster take over. And he goes, well, I need 10 minutes. I'm like, all right, well, I'll call you later then.
It's going to be really painful once you finally do get on the phone with them and probably find out that there's a decent chance that this is something that maybe was not important as he made it sound.
Oh, no, it's going to be very dumb. I'm almost 100% sure of it. Kid is my best friend from home, but he's a little bit of a goober sometimes. Taken for strike 2.
So deuces are wild. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Luchtenmeyer fires one in the dirt. And another full count, this time for Kyle Davis. Luchtenmeyer shakes him off a couple of times. He's in the windup. And he hits him on the hand. And somebody in the Jayhawk dugout says, you had 3 balls, you didn't have to wear that one. And kind of adds insult to injury a little bit.
I would agree with that, but Davis will get aboard by any means necessary.
So he'll hand it off to the lefty, who is Ben McDonald. And McDonald takes a sweeper in there for strike number 1.
Excellent off-speed pitch right there.
Sometimes that off-speed on the first pitch throws off the timing. It's always good when you mix your pitches. That one was a tough call for strike two. I think that one was a little bit away, but in a game like this, you're probably trying to end the game if you're going to umpire anything that's close. The 0-2 is called strike three, and that will end the inning. To the bottom of the fifth, still 10-3.
Back here for the bottom of the fifth, and it's back to the wall time for Kansas as Cam Fultz steps in. If Rockhurst plates three here, that will likely do it for the day. I believe we do have the mercy rule in effect. So if Rockhurst goes up by 10, that would wrap things up. Swung on and sent out to center field. Looks pretty routine for Jackson Pollock, and he hauls it in. There's one down. So Cal Rampton had the homer today, but nothing going at this at-bat.
Don't want to be that guy here. Don't want to beat a dead horse or anything, but Rockhurst has one more hit than Kansas, and they had a 7-run lead in the fifth inning.
It's just been one of those days. First pitch runs inside there to Toko. I'm sorry, that's Tyler Woodcock. I saw the 4 in the 14 in Toko's number. Runs outside this time, so peppering both sides of the strike zone, but nothing in just yet.
A pretty nice break on that pitch, just maybe broke a little too much.
Sent out towards center field. Pollock comes on. This one's going to get over his head. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Woodcock digs around for second. He's going to try and go for third. Throw in. Plenty of time.
Oh, man.
Plenty of time as Tyler Woodcock tried to go for third. And he's tagged out. There's 2 down.
Rockhurst guys up here with us, having a good laugh, but you got to respect the effort.
Yeah.
You got to respect it.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a good triple celly.
So 2 down now here in the fifth. As that skips in front of the catcher.
Update for those of you interested, we have Justin Rose, Ludwig Oberg, and DeChambeau all tied at 9 under, and Rory now has a 4-stroke lead in first place through 9 holes.
Is he finally going to do it? Is he going to cap off that grand slam? Chopper over towards second. Gawitz comes on. Goes down to a knee, but he can't get the throw off. And he's safe at first with 2 away.
Sat there and let the ball come to him on a slow roller like that. You got to charge the ball and get there as quick as you can if you want to have any chance at getting the throw.
Pickoff move toward first, skips away out into foul territory, but he's held there. Swung on and popped up into the infield. Gawitz calls it a run off. Can't see it. And everybody's safe. Gawitz lost it in the sun.
That's tough there. Right when it went up, you could tell he had no idea where it was. He kind of shook his hands like asking for any kind of help, but wasn't much help that could be given.
And all of a sudden, there's 2 men aboard with 2 away. And Swearingen will come out and chat with Foltz. Looks like his jersey came untucked. That's what it was.
So you mentioned it at the start. 3 runs would end the game, and if I'm this hitter here, I'm maybe swinging out of my shoes.
Might as well give it one hardy hack just to see what happens.
It is the 5-hole, so if he connects with one, you never know.
Left up high for ball 1. I feel like you got to wait to get a pitch to hit, though. You can't just swing at anything.
High ones are hardest ones to lay off of, in my opinion.
I always liked hitting those low pitches when I could kind of golf at it. I felt like I could get more barrel to it as it's taking up high ball, too.
Come on, toe dirt.
So a 2-0 count here is spiked in the dirt for ball 3.
I know the unwritten rules of baseball, but it's club baseball, maybe a different vibe. Are you swinging here?
I mean, I wouldn't just because you haven't seen a strike, and obviously that's what'll happen here, and it'll load the bases. But I feel like there's no reason to swing 3-0 because you haven't seen anything close.
Say it was a strike. If it was big, juicy meatball right now.
Oh, if it's a big, juicy meatball, I'm swinging out of my shoes. I mean,
coming unglued, may as well.
I was never a power hitter when I played, so just the opportunity to drive something, you can't pass that up.
Come on, Gabe.
But I feel like if it's something fringe, you're not gonna take a hack at it.
Maybe not the same approach as a full count or 2 strike.
No. Over the head of Gawitz, 1 run will score. They're gonna try and wave around another. No throw to the plate, 2 runs score, and it's 12-3 Rockhurst. A base hit single, and there's runners on first and second with 2 down.
Come on, Bard. Bard bomb.
So Braden Barbie, who led off game number 1 and made it all the way to third before being stranded there in the first inning, has the opportunity to drive a runner around from second and bookend this doubleheader Sunday. Spiked in the dirt, both runners are going to move up 90 feet with ease. And it's runners on second and third here with 2 away.
Caught Swearingen right on the arm, right where there's no padding, and that's a stinger for sure, especially in a game like this. And
Yeah, I can't imagine that one felt very good. Foltz looks for the sign, kicks and fires.
Yeah.
Chopped over toward Gawitz. This time he'll make the play.
So close.
Rockhurst plates another 2. We head to the top of the 6th. 12-3 Hawks your score. Back here for the top of the 6th as Gawitz hacks at the first pitch and fouls it off. Looked like there could have been mercy rule in effect back in the 5th, but we play on with a 9-run Rockhurst lead. As that's pushed foul. So Gawitz behind the count 0-2, looking to fight this a little bit. And he watches strike 3 right down the pipe. And there's one away. So Jacob Bittner will step in here with 1 down. First offering to Bittner, swung on a gnarly breaking ball right there. What'd you see out of that one, Mason?
Just that release point again. Really nice to be able to break it off. Sweeping action across the plate. Beautiful pitch there. And he did it again.
Called for strike 2.
Yeah, I know you mentioned like the mercy rule, but these guys out here, they're not thinking about that. They're just, no, they're still playing for pride.
Popped up, hooking foul, and it'll settle out there.
And, you know, baseball is fun, right? No matter where you're at.
True
no matter
that.
the score. So why wouldn't you try and, you know, get a nice line drive, maybe more?
Yeah, you might as well try to work your way back into it. As that's taken for ball 1. Bittner trying to work his way back into this at bat, the 1-2. Fouled. And that'll certainly help.
Got him pretty aware of the breaking ball here. I think that judging by the timing there, he's on it now. So I think I might give him a high fastball and try and blow it past him.
The 1-2 once again. Got him. Ball in the dirt, throw down to first, and there's 2 away. So Levi Sweet will step up here, looking to spark a rally.
Kind of interesting. He went right back with the breaking ball. Beautiful spot with it. You don't want to leave that one up there. So getting it in the dirt is key. It's worked either way.
So that's taken for strike 1.
And now it looks like he's starting to try and ride that breaking ball. I think it's been 4 pitches in a row he's thrown it, and it's looking really good.
Hey, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. As that's left in the dirt for ball 1.
Ironic, if the breaking ball isn't broken, don't fix it. Maybe in this case, if it is broke, then don't fix it.
Something like that. As that runs inside for ball 2. So the 2-1 here is called for strike 2. Sweet looking to stay alive here, the 2-2. Down low, count full. Here comes the 2-2 once again, or the 3-2, my apologies, fouled back.
Seeing some pitches here. Trying to work that count.
Sweet, one of the longer at-bats we've seen today.
close miss.
And I'll take the walk.
I have to say, I'm a little bit surprised that one wasn't called, judging by the zone where it's been most of the day and given the circumstances of this game here late.
Yeah, I would have thought they would have rung him up. That's going to catch Griffin right in the back. That certainly did not feel good.
Got him square. He heard that one all the way up here, the loud, low thump. Just got a guy in scoring position here for backup at the leadoff spot. For Pollock.
Your turn, kid. Come on now. Dig in and drive.
So back to the top of the order with Jackson Pollock. Kansas trying to spark something here in the top of the sixth. Pollock the 0-1 as I just got the notification that the battery is starting to go on us. So we'll replace it as that runs up and in. I'll just do that right now while I'm sitting here.
Consistent
Might as well.
with our batters. Average pace game gives us about 6 1/3 innings before it starts to let us know it's time. This one obviously not quite the 6th inning yet, but still pretty consistent.
And we are all replaced. I guess you can assume you'll get about 2 hours of footage out of one of those batteries. We're 1 hour and 55 minutes, and it seems like that's usually where it starts tuckering out on us. So we'll assume you can give it a nice round number of 2 hours. 1-2, line back up the middle. Green light is going to be on. Sweet is going to trot on home. Hey, he's making that number 27 jersey proud. And Kansas gets one back here with 2 outs in the 6th. It's 12-4.
What do they say? Better late than never, huh?
Through that.
Same thing, kid.
A little bit inside there.
Called strike one. There's a lot of sirens behind us.
Something's going on for sure.
Something suspicious happening. As Swearingen clubs at that one, takes a weird bounce, gobbled up and onto first. Kansas gets one back as we head to the bottom of the 6th. 12-4 your score. Back here for the bottom of the 6th, where we're in a very similar situation. If Rockhurst plates 2, they'll win it as that runs up and in. It's going to catch him. First pitch from Foltz. And he looks over at the dugout and says, "My bad." So a runner aboard now for Lenny Toko. That's always scary, seeing a pitch like that run up and in.
He's lucky. It caught him on the top of his shoulder, but near disaster if that had caught him in the face.
So that's left for ball 1. Huge cut right there from Toko. Off balance at the end of that one. So bottom of the 6th here, Rockhurst in command. Kansas is just trying to stay alive to get themselves to the 7th inning, as that's foul tipped into the glove of Swearingen for strike 2. Swings on that one, pushes it out toward right field. Drops in, but foul. Looked like it might have been right on the line, but home plate umpire says it was just to the right.
Sliced it maybe a little bit too much. I think it was about a foot foul. Foltz ought to give him his best put away pitch here.
Runner goes, ball up high, throw down, not in time. As this one's pulled foul.
Hanging around here, fouling a couple pitches off. Just waiting for one he can manage and try and poke it out in the outfield. He'll score another run.
And again pulled foul, so Toko really working the count here. That one is taken down low for a ball. Count moves to 2-2 now. Toko trying to negotiate his way aboard here in the bottom of the 6th. Just past the 2-hour mark. As that runs inside and the count goes full 3-2. So Toko fighting his way aboard. The full count offering is again poked foul, just off the end of the bat.
Heck of a battle he's got himself here.
Yeah, it was quite an at bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Rockhurst, again, entirely in command, as that'll skip in the dirt. Runner will go to third with ease on the walk. So it was ball 4, and he wasn't sure that it was ball 4 because the runner took off from second. But it'll be runners on the corners with nobody out here. And somebody from their dugout said, "Hey, Lenny, ball 3," as he's able to get back. Not much of a lead over there at first. So Cal Ranton steps in excellent grab. A web gem over at shortstop. Oh my goodness.
Got way up there on that one.
Wow. I couldn't quite make out the number there. Did you see who that was?
I can't see.
An excellent grab out at shortstop to spin a double play, as that's outside for ball one.
Really tough. There's no numbers on the front of the jersey, and with the way they changed where the fielding so much.
Trying to make out, is that Aiden Day?
I think it is.
Swung through strike two in the dirt. I guess we'll see in a minute here if Fultz can get out of this one and get Kansas back to the dugout. One-two swung through strike three, and that will end things for the sixth. Last ups for Kansas now. They've got a tall task in front of them, needing to plate 8 runs to continue this ball game. We will be back with you guys in the 7th as I'm trying to take a look at who made that excellent grab. I cannot tell.
I believe it is Day.
I believe it was Day. We'll see it in a second. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. Nevertheless, an excellent grab as we head to the 7th. Top of the 7th, final ups for the Jayhawks. Spiked in the dirt for ball one.
Just got to take it one pitch at a time if you want to have any chance at coming back. Luchtenmeyer, it would take him a colossal meltdown.
We saw Kansas plate 5 in the final inning against Creighton last weekend, as that's left up high for ball two. And that's taken for ball three. So a 3-0 count today, and you have to assume he's taking anything. Now he swings at the 3-0, pops it up on the infield, corralled by the shortstop, and there's one away. So Sean Budin is going to step up and take some cuts, the pitcher from today. Swings at the first pitch he sees. He checked it, and he did go around.
Pitcher got a little excited. Not often pitchers get hit, so when you do, you want to make it count.
Called strike two. As that's taken for a ball.
Just a hair low there.
As that's taken for ball 2. Little excuse me swing poked over toward third, and there's 2 down. So McDonald will step in with 2 down. Kansas scored a few with 2 down against Creighton last weekend. We'll see if they can do the same here today.
I believe it was entirely with 2 down. At 5.
We'll see if they can work a miracle today. In the dirt, ball 1. McDonald ropes one foul. One, 2. Is hooking foul out toward left field in foul territory. It'll drop in. Nobody able to make the play.
Great effort.
Yeah, I really went after it. The third baseman on quite a trek out there. So we'll try things again. Everybody making their way back. McDonald continuing to work the count. Kicks and fires. Grounder over toward first, gobbled up, and that will do it. Rockhurst uses 12 consecutive runs to win this one. 12-4 Hawks, your final score. We will see you guys either Wednesday or next week. We're not totally sure. Next weekend, we're not totally sure yet. But it'll either be Wednesday against Mid-American Nazarene or this weekend against Missouri. Thank you all for watching. Have a great